guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here to bring the review for Vamp the Lost Soul Manga Chapter 16. So, if you watch the live reaction, you would know what we're gonna. You would have seen the confusion I was suffering in the flashback portion of the episode. I mean, throughout the chapter, I've reread it a couple of times since then, so I have a clear understanding of what was going on. If you haven't watched the live reaction, you play in that. Go watch that and then come back to this one. But anyway, so the chapter starts off pretty much how I thought it was going to start off with my prediction video. That is Jess being controlled to attack Daddy Dearest. And we see this within this chapter. And now as the chapter is going on, Jess is getting some clear hits in. And I think I understand now what's happened since I've read it a few times. So it seems like Jess was able to rip through this suit, this armor. I think it was a suit or armor. I can't remember which one. It's one of the two that was mentioned at the end of the chapter that was created by this witch. No, wait, no. Okay, I'm thinking two things, possibly. Two things. And I hope it's the latter. Actually, I don't know right now. But no, but he said, I'm debating to myself, can Jasper control this chimera transformation? I'm debating to myself if we can control it or not, or if this is the side effects of this vampire mutation that was mentioned at the later stages of the chapter. Because, okay. So in the beginning, Jess being controlled by the mummy is attacking Jasper. Jess does get some hits in. All of this is very clear. We can see this. Jess does get some hits in until Jasper first he uses water magie or mage eye as James calls it. What mage eye would it be spelled that way? But whatever, magic. Regardless of that, it is magic. So James uses water magic, causing an illusion which makes an attack from Jess miss. And then after that, he goes into a transformation, into a chimera. If this transformation is something that Jasper can do, if it's something that all vampires can do, if it's this vampire mutation illness that was mentioned, I don't know. I think it's something that all vampires can do freely, and this illness, whatever, is something related to something else. But I am seriously hoping that this is referring to the illness. But I honestly don't know. Because maybe that this whole chimera thing is the vampire illness that is mentioned, and it would explain. Yeah, because imagine, so for example, I'm going to say that this is the illness, and Jasper's turned into chimera. All vampires that have this illness turn into chimeras or just animals, whatever, and then they lose the human or I'm gonna just go with human instincts, and they go just full beast mode, forget everything, and therefore this person is then lost to you. That would make sense because it would explain why Jess was so adamant in saving Jasper within the flashback. Or is it something that all vampires can do? I don't know. That's confusing. This is why I paused during the live reaction, because I was thinking to myself, and I've mentioned this before. I'm sure I mentioned this in Volume 1. When it comes to the powers in this series, I always feel like it's just getting thrown at me left, right, and center, and that makes it seem random, and it makes it seem like a butt pull, pulling it out of thin air, because we're always getting introduced to different races vampires, werewolves, mutants, trolls, elves, half-breeds. You know, there's dragons, and there's not stopping. So it's kind of hard to keep track of who can do what, and is he just adding things to certain people? And for me, another thing is that, for example, we've been introduced to 3 different uh, half vampires, but we've only ever seen Nick do the bite thing. Can James do this as well? Can Jess do this as well? Get me? So for me personally, right now the power thing is kind of confusing, because especially because when it comes to other series that I watch, it's pretty much laid out from the get go. And I think something James could have done to help with this is lay out from the get go. For example, with magic, whatever. Who can use it? Can everybody use it? Because what I think James is trying to go for here is that everybody, to an extent, you might have to one off. Every race can use magic to a certain degree. Some may be better, some may be worse, and then you have the off that can't do it. And then through magic, everybody probably can use fire, water, electric, earth, and then there'll be the rare few that can use dark and light. I think that's what James is going for, but it's never ever been outlined in on paper, so it makes it confusing. And again, with the half breeds, can all of them do the bite, or is it just something James can do? The power, everybody's powers, for me right now, is confusing, and that just needs to be laid out for me, kind of. And I think I won't be the only one that feels that way, and there's probably people that do it as well. So I went off and said I don't know where I am. So recapping, so the chapter starts off how I thought it'd be, just fighting Jasper. He transforms into chimera form. Fair enough. We don't know where that is coming from yet. I'm guessing it's got something to do with the illness. The flashback happens. We see Jess trying to get help for her dad. I foolishly, very foolishly, thought this guy that just went to help for, I'm guessing he's a vampire doctor of some sort, but I don't know if he's a vampire. There's a lot of mention of him being a monster, but that kind of made me feel like I'm supposed to know who this character is and what race he is, but that's never really outlined. But regardless of that, just went to him for help. He didn't help. He was trying to use just a situation against her. He was trying to get her food. So I think he was a vampire, because he mentioned he was thirsty. So I reckon he was trying to get to Jess. In hops the parents. We meet Anna for the first time. She's introduced for the first time, and Jess. They stop the monster, but something happens to Jess where it seems like, something happens to Jasper, sorry, where it seems like Anna has given up on Jasper, sorry, and was going to kill him, but Jess doesn't allow her to do so. And we see that bit where Jess knocks back Anna, and we just see her slam. It's not confirmed if she's dead or anything, but it's during this part of the chapter where I thought to myself, oh my gosh, did Jess accidentally kill her mum? I just want to add a quick note that I missed. So I missed something within this chapter when Jess knocks down her mum. She actually does get back up and walk away, and I think I have misinterpreted something that was said way back in volume 1 where Jess mentions that she lost her mum. So I always assumed that this meant Jess's mum was dead. when you lose a when your parents died, you say you've lost them. So I always assumed that this meant that she lost her parent. So when I saw Jess knock down her mum within this chapter, I started to think, oh my gosh, Jess killed her mum. But it seems like she's just become a runaway mum, if you will. Now, I personally think the idea is cool that Jess killed her mum. And even though I think it's unlikely now, it is possible that after the events of this flashback, at another time, Jess's mum did come back. Jess lost control again. And that's when you kill her is unlikely, very unlikely, but it is possible, and I think that would be so cool. But I don't think that's the case. I think Jess hasn't seen her mum since she walked away on this day, and it is possible that she does come back into the series at a later date. The last page of the chapter, we find out that Jess and Jasper were able to survive for a little bit, and this is where we get told about the witch who's left out blank. So we know she's coming back later on in the series, but she's left out blank. Jess runs into her. She helps build a suit that helps with this illness, which has helped contain Jasper up until now. And did she build the glasses for Jess as well? She built the glasses for Jess as well, I'm guessing. I think so. I can't remember right now. So she can maintain her power and not lose control. Jasper trained her, so she's now got more control of her abilities. One thing that I think that this chapter is trying to hint at, and I hope it's not true, is that Jess has an out of control mode, and I hope that's not the case because technically Nick has an out of control mode within Puppet, and I don't want that to be repeated as well. So overall, this chapter is good because it continues the fight that we left off within last chapter, but not only that, it builds on Jess's backstory, giving her more of a fleshed out character. Obviously, it's not complete; it can't be complete until the whole series ends, but giving her more depth to her character. And for those reasons, I'm going to give it a 4-star rating and call it a review. Of course, guys, must go for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.